Good morning. I'm Joseph D'Amico, Superintendent of the New York State Police. This morning you'll also be hearing from Orchard Park Police Chief Andrew Benz and Kelly Klein, who after the tragic loss of her son, founded Families Against Texting While Driving. I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge some of the special guests that we have here with us today. Senator Patrick Gallivan, Assemblyman Mark Schroeder, Senator Timothy Kennedy, Senator Michael Rasenhofer, Assemblyman Kevin Smarts, Orchard Park Supervisor Janice Colarusso, Assemblyman Dennis Gabrizak, Erie County Sheriff Timothy Howard, Erie Community College President Jack Quinn, and Assemblyman Robin Schiminger. I'd like to thank Governor Cuomo for inviting me to join him today in unveiling this important and new traffic safety law. The message is very simple. Distracted driving is dangerous driving, and we're not going to tolerate it in New York State. One of the core responsibilities of the New York State Police is keeping the millions of New Yorkers who take to the roadway every day safe. This new law gives us the tools that we need to carry out that mission. Before this law, officers couldn't stop a vehicle just because the driver was reading or writing a text. They needed an additional offense, such as speeding, before they could pull a car over and ticket them. Every day, troopers see firsthand the damage of distracted driving and texting on our roadways. Last year in New York State, distracted driving and driver inattention was the #1 cause of motor vehicle crashes. Lives are lost, people are injured, property is damaged, and is all very avoidable. It's a simple message. The public must not text. Put away those mobile devices, and if you're going to be on the phone, you need to have a hands-free device. We will enforce the law. A violation of the law will cost you up to $150 and points on your license if you violate it. You know, we all know that technology changes fast, and for law enforcement, this creates certain challenges. It's important that our laws keep pace with this changing landscape, and that's what we're doing here today. I want to thank the governor, all of our legislators, and our law enforcement partners for working to keep our roadways safe. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to introduce Orchard Park Police Chief Andrew Benz.
Thank you. The #1 priority of the Orchard Park Police is to protect our citizens. The new law the governor signs today will strengthen penalties for texting while driving and make our roadways safe for everyone. Driving while texting, holding, or viewing a handheld device is reckless, irresponsible, and extremely dangerous. And now it's against the law. Yet we still see drivers who use their mobile devices when behind the wheel. Today we are helping to prevent future accidents, and we are protecting New Yorkers throughout this community and across the state. I want to thank the governor for not only signing this new law, but for working to educate and inform all New Yorkers of the dangers of distracted driving. It's going to take all of us, law enforcement, government, parents, and members of each community, to ensure this message resonates loud and clear. It's now my privilege to introduce Kelly Klein, who has dedicated her efforts to the memory of her son, AJ, to lead Families Against Distracted Driving.
Thank you, Chief Benz. It is my pleasure to be here with the governor today. It means so much to me that you came here today for this bill. But this is not just a bill. It's about the lives that can and will be saved. Unfortunately, my family has firsthand knowledge of what can happen when someone chooses to text and drive. 3.5 years ago, I lost my son, AJ Larson, in a texting while driving accident. AJ was texting instead of paying attention to driving. He ran a stop sign and drove into the path of a garbage truck. My boy AJ died a short time later at the hospital. He was 20 years old. After AJ's accident, I felt there needed to be a law against texting while driving. With the help of so many people, we fought for that law. And 2 days ago, on Tuesday, July 12th, 2011, the governor signed a primary no texting while driving bill into law. And I'm convinced that this will save lives. I want to thank the governor for bringing this bill to Buffalo. And it is now my honor to introduce our governor, Andrew Cuomo.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I brought the bill to Buffalo. I also brought the weather to Buffalo, I want you to know. I'll take credit for the weather today. First, to all the distinguished guests who are here today, thank you very much for joining us. To Chief Benz and Superintendent Joseph D'Amico, thank you for your comments. Thank you for your good work. Let's give them a round of applause. All the men and women of law enforcement who are here today, who put their lives on the line every day to keep us safe, let's give them a round of applause and our thanks. It's a pleasure to be here, and it's a pleasure to be with the president of this great institution, who I knew back in the day when he was a mere congressman before he was a president. But I always knew that he aspired to be a president. Jack Quinn, Congressman Jack Quinn, great friend, a great leader. It's a pleasure to be with you, Jack. And my colleagues from Albany, the assemblymen and the senators, you heard them introduced by the superintendent. I'm a relatively new governor. I'm still only 6 months out of the box. I'm a semi-rookie. But I was in Albany for 6 months. I worked with the Assembly. I worked with the Senate. They were very kind to me. And most importantly, we had a great, great legislative session for the people of the state of New York. And they really delivered. And we got a lot of good work done. We got a budget passed on time. We passed a lot of laws that I believe are going to make this state a better state. And the law we're here to talk about today is one of them. And to a woman who worked very, very hard for a long time to make today a reality, Kelly Klein, who you heard from, who took a terrible situation and a tragedy and a parent's worst nightmare to lose a child, and took that tragedy and turned it into a positive, and took the pain and took the energy that went with the pain and put it in a positive direction and said she was going to do something about the situation so other parents wouldn't have to feel the pain and the loss that she felt. And to that, we credit you, we tribute you, we applaud you, and today your efforts have borne fruit. And if there is any peace that you can derive from the fact that at the end of the day, what you did, I believe, will save lives. And if you find peace with that, I think you should. And let's give Kelly a round of applause. You heard from the superintendent and the chief the thrust of the bill, and it is a simple bill, and it is a simple message. We have gone through a technology revolution. It's done a lot of good things. It's done a lot of good things for the economy. It's made us more productive, more efficient, more effective. But there is a place for everything. And the technology, the BlackBerries, the iPhones have no place when you are driving a car. They call it driving while distracted. It's common sense, really. Put the device down. Focus on driving. But sometimes you need a law, and sometimes you need law enforcement to remind us of what should be common sense. This is a particular problem for young people. Why? Because they come from a different place. They come from a different orientation. Kelly spoke about AJ. I now have two young ladies at home who are 16 years old who I'm teaching how to drive, which is a different story and a different situation. No family member should ever take teaching another family member how to drive, especially a father and his daughter. I've learned that a little late. But, for young people, the whole culturalization has been about those devices. That's what they do. They're just connected to these electronic devices. That's how they're raised. It's constant chatter, If their thumbs aren't moving, they don't know if they're alive, some of these kids. And that device vibrates or pings or pongs or whatever it does, and you just see every instinct in their body is they have to respond and they have to do it now. That's that sense of immediacy. That's how they were raised. And now they're driving a car. And by the way, driving is a totally new and different experience. And they don't get it initially. No one gets it initially. It's hard to understand the power of that vehicle and that you're really sitting on a 2-ton missile. And when you're going 60 miles an hour, you look down for a second and you look back and you've gone a significant difference, and the entire situation can change. And it's literally a matter of life and death. And people can lose their lives, and people have lost their lives. This law is simple, this law is impactful, and this law will be enforced. This is 3 points on a license. This is a $150 fine. We are very, very serious about it. We are also increasing the number of points for using a cell phone while driving to 3 points. We want to make this point the law is going to be enforced. That's what the Superintendent of State Police is all about. That's what Chief Benz is all about. That's what the cars and the lights are all about. We are very, very serious. We're going to enforce the law, and we are going to start immediately. This law will save lives. It will change behavior. And that's the end point of what all of this is about. What is public service about? What has Kelly's message been about? Let's pass a law. Let's protect one another. Let's help law enforcement protect us all. And we're going to sign a bill that does just that. Kelly, we thank you. Assemblymen, we thank you. Senators, we thank you. Men and women of law enforcement who are going to enforce this law, we thank you very much. Thank you and congratulations. Congratulations, Governor. Thank you, Governor. Congratulations to you, Governor. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our bill signing ceremony. I'd like to thank all of you for coming. Remember the message: distracted driving is dangerous driving. So be safe on the roadways, put away those mobile devices, and use hands-free when you're on a cell phone. Thank you.